Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Today we're going to return to the world of Princess Alexandra. In our last episode, the whole family was shaken by the death of Prince Eddy. So let's see what's going on today. Princess Alexandra wrote to Queen Victoria that she would never recover from the shock of her son's death. He had been lethargic, dissipated, impervious to education, and unfitted to be king. But he was also amiable, home-loving, and affectionate. He was also her firstborn child. She felt tenderness for him because he was the weakest in her flock. It upset her to lose him because it came at a time when her son's future appeared to be happy and assured. For years he had been a source of anxiety for his parents. Now, at the very moment when he was to be married to a desirable bride, death suddenly snatched him away. Oliver Montague came right away to the castle when he heard the news about Prince Eddy. The prince and princess both burst into tears when they saw him. Oliver felt that they were shattered by their son's death. They were only comforted when they could see his body. Sorrow had brought the prince and princess closer together, and they had a closer bond. A sermon was preached at Sandringham Church on the 24th of January. Princess Alexandra wrote to Queen Victoria, "Bertie and I followed him on foot Friday night at 11 o'clock to our own little church. Today we all took the sacrament with him still near us." For her, the worst moment came when her son's coffin was carried out of the church and felt that now he was leaving his home forever. Princess Alexandra had wished that he would be buried at Sandringham beside the baby John, who would only live for one day. The Queen was quick to agree with her because she knew all about mourning a loved one. The Prince of Wales, though, insisted that his son must lie among his peers at Windsor. The princess was there, but not in public. She was in what was known as the Queen's closet. There with her was Princess May and her daughters, and she watched the funeral. She found comfort in the music, Purcell, Croft, Chopin, and Sullivan, an eclectic selection of her own choosing. After the funeral, the prince took his wife and daughters to Osborne. The Queen noted in her journal that on the 2nd of February, Alex looks the picture of grief. She also said that Alex looked lovelier than ever in her deep mourning. From Osborne, they went to Eastbourne, taking with them Princess May. In May 1892, Prince George was created the Duke of York. Since he was now his father's heir, his becoming married took on importance. The rumors were already pairing him with Princess May. The Duke, however, felt he was in love with his attractive cousin Missy, Princess Marie, daughter of Prince Alfred, now Duke of Edinburgh. But she wouldn't have anything from him. Surprisingly, she preferred to marry the heir to the Romanian throne rather than the heir to the British throne. The Princess of Wales was happy when she announced she was marrying Prince Ferdinand. She regarded the Edinburgh family as intolerably Germanic. The Duke of Edinburgh being heir to his uncle, Duke of Ernst of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, and she had no wish to have any of the Edinburgh girls for a daughter-in-law. She was not the best of friends with Missy's mother. One thing, the Duchess claimed as a daughter of a Tsar to take precedence over a mere Princess of Wales. The Princess of Wales spent a happy autumn holiday at Mar Lodge. With Oliver Montague, he taught her how to fish for salmon. He had been failing in health for some time. He was persuaded to go to Egypt in the winter to see if it might help him improve. But once he got there, he got worse, and at the end of January of 1893, he died in Cairo. His death was a blow for Princess Alexandra because she had recently lost her son. The princess wrote in a eulogy in farewell, "So God has taken to himself our dearly beloved friend Oliver, the best and truest of men, one to be relied on in every relation of life, faithful, discreet, and trustworthy, gentle, kind, just, and brave, and noble both in his life and death. God bless him for all his ever thoughtfulness for others." She had known him for a quarter of a century, never asking for anything in return. But although they had not been lovers, they had been very close to one another. The world looked at Oliver Montague as a playboy, but she had seen the more serious side of his character. Princess Alexandra wrote to his aunt, Lady Sydney, "I was so touched by you saying you thought I had some good influence on your dear nephew's spiritual life. We have, it is true, often talked over sacred matters together, and I always thought of him as such a good, high-principled religious man. The Prince of Wales and the Duke of York attended Oliver Montague's funeral at Hitchinbroke, and the princess going privately the previous day. She had already sent Lord Sandwich a little cross, begging that it might remain upright on the coffin, and that so that she could take it away with me tomorrow, she said, as a sad remembrance of my faithful friend. Among the family's memorials in the chancel of Sandringham Church is a tablet to Lord Oliver Montague. For at least 22 years, the last extant letter on the subject is dated 1915. The princess sent flowers on the anniversary of his death, asking Lord Sandwich to see them laid on your dear and never to be forgotten brother Oliver's grave. Prince Eddy was gone, and Oliver Montague too, so that she clung even more closely to her one remaining son. The nation at large expected the Duke of York to marry Princess May. The Tech family was all for it and let it be known. The Prince and Princess of Wales approved, but could not yet bring themselves to contemplate a marriage which might be construed as an affront to the memory of their dead son. Princess May found herself in an awkward position, behaved with her customary good sense and restraint. The Duke himself had not yet recovered from the shock of his brother's death, which had come upon him when he was barely over his attack of typhoid. His health and spirits were low, so Princess Alexandra decided to take him with her on a Mediterranean cruise to visit her relations in Greece, arguing that he needed a complete change and rest before settling down in his life. The princess had wanted to have her son all to herself. When they got to Athens, they found the king of Greece in constant quarrels with his sons, refusing to recognize their right as grown-up men to have some control over their own lives. The situation was particularly painful to the Princess of Wales, who had always set such store by family unity. The Duke of York was taking the opportunity to discuss his own problems with his favorite aunt, Queen Olga of Greece, who was insistent that he ought to propose at once to Princess May. His mother felt she couldn't be in England when he proposed to Princess May, so she stayed at Venice when he traveled to England. On the 8th of May in 1893, in the garden of the Fifes' home at Sheen, where Prince Eddy had not so long ago courted Princess Helene, the Duke of York proposed and was accepted. Though the arrangement could not be called a love match, it merited that title far more than a marriage between Princess May and Prince Eddy would have done. The two had ample time to get to know one another, so that their marriage could be securely based on mutual liking and respect, which was developed in the years into a deep love between husband and wife. When she heard the news of the engagement, Princess Alexandra wrote to Princess May a warmly affectionate letter. God bless you both, and let me welcome you once more as my dear daughter. God bless you and grant you all the happiness which you so fully deserve with my Georgie, and which was denied you with my darling Eddy. I'm sure, as you say, his spirit is watching over you now and rejoicing with us, and that the clouds have been lifted once more from your saddened young life, and that you may yet look forward to a bright and happy future with the brother he loves so well. For my own self, I need hardly speak, as you know how much I always loved you, and how glad I am that you will still belong to us, and know we two will always understand each other, and I hope my sweet May will always come straight to me for everything. The last sentence unconsciously reveals the weakest points in the relationship between the Princess of Wales and her daughter-in-law. No young woman likes to be so dependent on their mother-in-law, yet the princess never saw how irritating this patronizing attitude could be. As for understanding one another, she was hardly equipped to understand a girl as serious-minded and as self-contained as Princess May. Princess May, however, was well accustomed to dealing with such a character as the Princess of Wales. Her mother, the Duchess of Teck, greatly resembled the princess in her gaiety, her inconsequence, her lack of financial sense, her fantastic unpunctuality, her gift of getting in touch easily with all sorts and conditions of people. And people had a loyal affection for the Duchess of Teck, and it would spring up everywhere she went, like a flower in her path. Princess May's experience with her mother must have been a real help to her in her relations with a very similar mother-in-law. So I'm going to end the video here. Poor Princess Alexandra had to cope not only with the death of her beloved son, Prince Eddy, she also had to deal with the death of a longtime friend, Oliver Montague. The only bright spot came with the engagement of Princess May and Prince George. The parents found it hard to look past that Princess May was to be married to Prince Eddy, but they knew that their son George needed to be married, and Princess May was perfect for him. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't subscribed, if you could do it, it would help the channel to grow, as well as giving a thumbs up. It's all a great help. And if you haven't clicked on the notification bell, if you could do that, it lets you know when a video is posted. More importantly, I want to wish everyone a good day. Tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Thank you. Bye.